Welcome back to the old Two-Stroker YouTube channel. My name's Wayne. This is an 871 blower. Today, I'm going to make it work and function a little bit better than it does. Came in for massive oil consumption. I diagnosed it as a blower issue and also external oil leak, which was the coupling here that goes to the drive. That rubber coupling was leaking like hell. So we're going to rebuild this blower in this video, so let's get right to it. We got a lot of work to do. First things first is this feed tube that feeds oil from the blower to the flywheel housing to lubricate the blower drive.
Nope.
Next, we're going to pull our spring pack off. Tell the bolts are loose. I've already pulled this off because when I ordered parts, I needed to inspect it, make sure we didn't have any broken springs on it. And there you have that. Dampens incoming drive. It dampens the incoming drive forces with those little metal ribs, and they have a tendency to crack and break up internally here. You got to look at them kind of close and make sure they ain't all frigged up. These ones look good, so no charge. Next, we'll pull this end cover off. I'm sure it'll make an ungodly mess. Camera's got me all wiling out. Almost forgot. What you want to do when you do these is mark them. So it's got two divots. I don't know that you're going to be able to see that. You can see our 2 punch marks here. One in there, matching. That's how you orient this when you put it back together. Well, that by definition orients this blower. It's marked on the drive side. So that's our business side. Everything looks pretty good in there. I'm gonna flip to the other side and we'll start pulling the other side apart as soon as it's done milking my table.
Milk me, Daddy.
All right, back at her here, another day, another lost dollar. Put this to the side. This thing is like very heavy. We're going to replace its gasket here, just since we're kind of resealing the front of this unit. It doesn't really make sense to. We'll also look and see if there's any evidence of it leaking while we're in here. The idea being it leaks less when it leaves than when it came in. So on these, if they get if it's got a blind hole here where the bolts are, then you don't need a copper washer. But if it's drilled through, you need a copper washer. So we gotta look at that. I don't think it's drilled through though, because these are not fine thread bolts, coarse thread bolts. Lower one's always a little tricky. Hopefully we can get it out without too much hassle. Something up here was leaking pretty good. Gasket looks alright, actually. Kind of impressed by that. All sorts of shmoo in it, but I don't notice. It doesn't appear like it was leaking. It appears like whatever was leaking was being thrown up on it. Which I actually suspect to be the front cam seal. But we're not getting into that while it's here. Okay, so I don't know if you're going to be able to see this. There are 2 bolts down inside. So like I was saying, I was so rudely interrupted, there's bolts up in here. Let the juice right out of it, boys. Ugh. Actually, the blower gaskets are pretty decent. End plate gaskets, I'm kind of surprised. I wonder how long ago it was somebody was in this. I'd be real curious to know. Alright, I got her flipped around here. We're going to jam. Jam a rag into it. Remember, these gears got to press off there together, so let's do that. You'll feel it. They come real smooth when you get it right. Just like that. Alrighty. Now, the only thing we gotta pay attention to here is right here is our timing shims. Actually, there's only one, which, oh, there's 2. They're sandwiched together. So these 2 shims are what time these, and how they're timed is based upon which gear is pressed on further. So that's how you time them. So that's how they, because they're tapered, not tapered, but caught on an angle, the shims, the relationship one to the other is what times the rotors. So that, my friends, is that. And then you got to pay attention to these little marks right here. They indicate, let me see if I can zoom in on that for you. Oh yeah, it'll actually show you. You can see it good on this one. So if you'll notice here, there is a divot in it. There's a flat spot in the gear, or in the teeth rather, and that's what lines up with, there's a corresponding flat spot in the gear. So, continuing on. guess what we'll do is get rid of this now. Kind of we can start pulling our screws out, get our end plates off. Can I have that? Thank you. Alright, come back on the other side here, and now we're taking, this is the rear is the drive side. So we're going to take that end plate off. You got to press it. Oh, very nice. One. Now we do the same thing. Now we're gonna pull our screws off, and then that plate is gonna get pressed right out of there. Boy, that was in there. Same deal. We just run these evenly. That's it. Holy shit, it's got double lips in it. That's not a good sign. Somebody had to have been in here somewhere recently in order for that to have double lips. That's what I'm talking about. These are the double lip Teflon seals, like what I'm gonna put in. Oh shit, that one's broke. Never mind. Holy shit, so there's your problem. Wow. No wonder the thing was freaking eating oil. Holy shit. So let me show you what I'm talking about here. We're kind of almost out of frame. Look at this. I don't know if you're even gonna be able to see it. It's missing this entire half of that seal. All right, let's do the other side. Quit fluffing around. Oh, you idiot.
Oh, idiot.
Let me get the screws out. That could have been questionable. I would have been unburdened by what has been. Okay. Now we can get to the pulling part. That's the bottom end of that. go. Alright. Now let's get a look at what these, can't wait to see what these seals look like. Ha-ha! That one same way. Absolutely destroyed. What a treat! Oh, that one too has got a chunk missing out of it. Ha! Nice work on the diagnosis.
God damn it, Gump! You're a goddamn genius!
Rotors look pretty good. So. Alright, boys and girls, it's about 10 p.m., 10:30. Just finished cleaning up all the Nuggies parts. So we're ready for assembly. I'm just waiting on my parts kit to get here and we'll jam this thing together. A couple things I noticed that I wanted to make mention of. I think those seals were ripped on, I think those seals were ripped on installation. I bet that was a double lip Teflon, and I'm betting they didn't have the expander to put that together, just based upon the rest of the stuff I'm seeing here. There's some real sloppy work going on. I also noticed I took these rubbers off the blower. And these are the rubbers that go from the governor housing down to the cylinder heads, and the rack rods pass through here. Well, if you look at this one, see that damage? That's not from coming apart. That's from years of somebody setting the blower down and this being wedged up like this for years. So I'm willing to bet that's where half the oil leak in the front of the motor is coming from, is this thing right here. The other one, they managed to get right. So I think a lot of this failure is from whoever's in here last. See how it goes when we get it together, huh? Alright, boys and girls, this is the first time I'm using this thing. So we're going to use our seal remover installer, bearing remover installer. And we're going to press this on through here on the new press. So, pretty pumped about that. Pretty easy. I'll tell you what, you can just about do it with the weight of the... Wonder if I can do it with a wheel. Nah, not quite. Look at these seals, huh? Absolutely destroyed. Okay, we got all our blower parts cleaned up. Next, we're gonna remove these oversized seal things. I just take a chisel, a nice sharp chisel. Give them a little tappy tap tap, and it'll come right off of there. A little bit more than that. Beautiful. Alright, make sure your surface is good and clean. You've seen me do this before. We're going to use a little bit of the red Loctite. Oh, that's probably too much. in charge. Yeah, Loctite me, Daddy.
Milk me, Daddy.
Wipe all the excess off of it, because you're an idiot. So this tool bottoms it out, or bottoms out rather. This is the right tool for that. And you go till you bottom this on the these seals, these retaining rings, because they're seal rings, I don't know, whatever you call these things. Wear sleeve, whatever. It goes on further because it's for the double lip oil seal, which goes on, rides further down. That one's on there. Alright, now we got to put the double lip seals into the end plates. So put your end plate face up on some wood, get your seal, and you take the special installer for the double lip seals, remember? Just like that. And then alright, so I'm going to install the front end plate first. The front end plate is the one that goes to the governor housing, so it's got dowel pins on both sides of it. Remember to take your seal installers and flip them around. So they come in the dual lip. These ones are still installed the way they come. Okay, that's the rear end plate. See how they're almost flush with the seal? You got to turn them around when you're going to install the rotors because they act as a guide. So the rotor lip, so it doesn't blow up the seal like how the last people did it. So you put your fat end facing up. What I did, this had some scarring. Just make sure you knock down all your high spots. I've gone ahead and done that. I've cleaned these with brake clean. They're 100% ready for assembly. So what we're going to do is we're going to get our anaerobic sealant here and just use a very light coat. There's not supposed to be any in that, so I like to use this purple Loctite 515 gasket maker. I use it for like sled cases and stuff like that. It's perfect for this. And then where you don't want it is on the inside, so get it out of there if you got any in there. Inside, no bueno. Get it lined up with our dowel holes, like so. Just like that. Now you put your screws in. Click. Click. Done. Alright, so let me show you something. This is where you get into trouble. I wanted to illustrate this. Why you don't use these install tools with the dual lip seals is as follows. These press on too far to use them. So if you look, you take this and you put it in here. It's tight, but then it bottoms out on that metal lip and there's a gap. Can you see the gap? Yes, you can. The seal will grab that lip of the wear ring and it'll do that. The install tools come in the new seals. FYI. Okay, so you set to get these in there now, we're going to install them in the front end plate. The right hand side one is marked gear end, so that's your right hand side, and you want your spaces and the vertical serrations to be facing to the left when viewed horizontally, so that'll go in there like that, and they're going to be in mesh. Okay, so that one's facing left, this one's facing left, so they're going to go in like that. Just like that. Look at this bullshit. Alright, so you just watched me install that. Well, see if I can get it here so you can see it on the camera. I don't know that it's going to come through, but I'm going to try. Okay? Get in here nice and tight on this. And zoom. Oh, frig. Yeah. You see that mark right there? I noticed it after I installed the rotor. That is a defect in this sealing ring. I promise you I didn't put it there. And now I gotta change this thing. So I'm gonna chisel that off, clean up the thing again, and install another seal ring. What a pain in the ass. Double check your seal rings before you put them on, and I guess that prevents that, but glad we caught it now, because that would have leaked. Alright fellas, we're all lubed up here on the top side. Be sure you don't have any smears. Flip your seal rings around so the fat side's sticking up. Let's send that bitch home, huh? That's what you're looking for there. Screws. Oh yeah. Click. Click. Just wipe off any excess that you may get. If you did this right, there really shouldn't hardly be any anywhere, so. Alright fellas, next step, we gotta put our bearings. These are the roller bearings. We're going to put them in. The numbers go up, facing the outside. And you want to lube these. Now, I lube them immediately after I clean them, but then I give them another spritz. I've got 40 weight and a little shot thing. And I put the oil into the side that faces up. I just give it 2 little spritzes, and then I like to roll it around and just distribute the oil. Now, that being said, you cannot get these seals oily. So, get the oil distributed in the bearing and then set it on a clean rag before you go putting them in, and just make sure nothing's going to come out when you're installing them. If you did this right, which I'm sure you did because you're paying attention to me, right? You won't get any oil running out on you. Here's your bearing install tool. Now you can install your bearing retainers. And she gets 9 foot-pounds, boys. Well, I forgot to record, so install your front end plate bearings, okay?
Idiot.
Now that all those are tight, we need to bring our serrations, or lack thereof, in alignment so they're both facing to the left. You can tell by the center punch mark here and here. Let's get you in there. There you go, now you can see it. You can see there and there, they're both facing to the left. Now we can install our drive gears, so let's do that. All right, we've done our preliminary clearance checks, and end clearances look all right. So next step, lubricate the splines here, just some light engine oil, and don't forget your shims, okay? You're gonna need these. These go here, right where they came from. And then you orient your rotors so both of the dots and the missing splines are facing the left. And then you do the same with your gears and mesh your gears and get them started. So, let's see, there's that one. There's that one. And then I'm going to use your fancy tools to pull these back into place. Try to just go a little bit at a time. Should be alright. We're going to check our clearances, and if they're all good, we'll bolt this old girl together. Okay, so when you time these, or when you check timing, you have 4 bolts in each end plate. Torque them to 15 foot-pounds. That's the ball game there. We've checked this one. We've deemed it great success. No adjustments needed. I've taken a lot of these apart. Very infrequent do you need to change the shims if you're not, we're just resealing this. So we don't have to, we're not changing a rotor or something's weird. It's going to change clearances. It's usually pretty dead nuts. So this one's good. Let's move on to the next step. Alright, so now we're gonna get you a clean rag, jam it in here. We're gonna tighten up our bolts. Lubricate your threads here with clean engine oil. 55 to 65 foot-pounds, so I call it 60. This part sucks. These things, 60 foot-pounds, believe it or not, is a lot of cheech. Now we'll just give her a real quick double check on our clearances. This little girl gets the same torque setting here. Alright fellas, so went ahead and made a tool. Hopefully this works better than the other thing. Keep your hands out of here. No weird noises or nothing. So that's good. Just give her a good check. Let's get our spring pack on there. We're gonna lubricate this. I cleaned it off the parts washer and it's supposed to have some juice on it, so we're just gonna give the spring packs a little bit of love is better than none on this deal. It's all gonna be all engine oil anyway, as soon as it starts, but at least it won't beat the shit out of itself until it's running, you know. Whenever it calls for light engine oil, I just use like 1540, like Rotella. Alrighty here, kids, so I know this looks scary. If you didn't take this apart, good, don't take it apart. But I didn't either. But what we gotta do now is goes on there. We'll get 2 of our bolts here. This has to be. I don't want any more than 020 run out in this thing, I guess. 62. Say no more than 20 thou. Seems like a lot. For just what this thing is. Let's see if I can even move it. Like, so I'm gonna be honest with you, it didn't really seem like it wanted to. There we go. I mean, we're within 10 thou there, so well within 10 thou. Book calls for 20. We're probably 7. $25. I'm pretty sure that's 300. Yeah. I thought so. Too far. Okay. Look at you. Oh, what a treat! Let me torque them. That's tight. We just gotta bend the tab over on that. I'm gonna bend two over. One more trick to this. Let's see if I can get you all a shot. It's just aligning the. That's it. Once you got that shaft aligned, it should just slide in like so. Alright. And you got two that go up in here, don't forget those. Torque me, daddy!
Choke me, Daddy.
We'll put our fuel pump on. Which. So these are supposed to get a copper. Don't forget that little guy. That'll ruin your day. Don't forget your deal. Oh wow, there's no way. Is that actually lined up? Bro, that never happens. That was pretty close. Alright, I'm going to jam this on here with 2 bolts temporarily, and then we are going to paint this thing. And I'm going to do that off camera because it's miserable. Treat. Suppose we could take our drive gear and see if it still spins. It should. I'm gonna be mighty upset if it don't. Oh yeah. Butter. Alright, quick to the painting section. Alright, boys and girls, we have got this thing looking just right. Perfect. And I painted the pipe, goes in between the, this thing was just all sorts of shitty, so I just gave it a quick spritz. Looks better. Feel a little bit better about it. Alright, fellas, that's gonna do it for this video. Next, we're gonna install this thing on the Nuggies truck and take that old truck for a ride and see how it does. And we got a surprise in store for you there, so make sure you tune in for that. Pop on over to old2stroker.com and get yourself something nice. It's wintertime. It's friggin' freezing cold up here anyway. So pop on over there, get yourself a nice hoodie. We've got both Fat Cab hoodies and Mossy Broke hoodies in stock, ready to ship. Nice and warm. You're going to love them. If you do buy a Fat Cab hoodie or a t-shirt, use code FATCAB with that item in your cart, and you will get 5% off your order. Thank you for watching. Huge shout out to the patrons as always. I surely appreciate you guys. We'll see you in the next one.